Welcome back, guys. TBI coming to you with a new video. And in this video, I wanted to discuss Bitcoin, right? Of course, Bitcoin is the major player on the market. And I've been finding myself recently trying to convince friends, loved ones, family members about how scarce it is to own a Bitcoin and why even now in 2022 is still the right time to buy in, right? So I wanted to share a couple of articles that kind of just, proves that point, that how scarce Bitcoin is. I tend to try to follow the big money, follow what the millionaires, follow what the billionaires are doing, as I am trying to one day reach my first million. That's the goal, to be wealthy, not rich. But the first goal is, of course, the hardest thing to do is to first get your first million. After that, your second million will come shortly after. I've heard that from many millionaires before. The first million is always the hardest, right? And so coming into investing this year in 2022, I found myself, trying to work my way up to owning a Bitcoin. I've been investing just about 25 days. Today's the 25th. And I have one ETH, which is good. I'm super proud of owning that. It dropped down dramatically, so I actually bought in more than what it's worth currently to this date. But I'm still happy to be able to own one, as I feel that's going to hit 10,000 by the end of 2022, right? So I will have a triple my return on investment, my ROI. But I'm still trying to, of course, put money in, DCA into getting a Bitcoin. And I talked with friends and they're saying, hey, owning that little bit of Bitcoin that's not going to do anything. And that's when I feel they're wrong. One, because they're not doing research. They're just going off blind thought. But I want to show you guys this. So let's get into it. TBI, Bitcoin. Let's go. All right. So this is an old article, by the way. It's risen up dramatically, just skyrocketing in value. But here it says as the BTC blasts through 10K. As of right now, Bitcoin is 36,000. But at its height, the highest has been is 69,000, which I do feel. Once we get out of a bear market, it'll slowly start climbing back up to the 50K range, right? So this is the time to kind of actually buy it now, which is why Whales, which is why Bitcoin Trust Fund Company, Grayscale, companies, Tesla, companies like that are buying Bitcoin now because it's super cheap and it's not going to remain this cheap for long. But anyway, as it blasts through 10K, they're going to see here just reported that 2% of all addresses hold one Bitcoin or more. Listen, what this article is saying here is that it only takes 0.28 Bitcoin. 0.28. Let me talk to you guys. 0.28. 0.28 to be in the 1% of people in the world that own Bitcoin. Let's discuss this a little further here, man. It only takes 0.28. All right. So there's no need to despair if you haven't been able to acquire or keep a full Bitcoin. This is what I was trying to tell people, right? So I'm going to stop getting into discussions with people that are not just doing the research here, right? Listen. Bitcoin is a finite amount, right? Even though you can mine 900 a day, right? There's 900 Bitcoin mined a day. The companies like Grayscale, like the other companies, right, are buying it up. So the common person will never be able to own one full Bitcoin. The common person, right? Listen, all it takes is 0.28 to be in the 1%. Now listen, of course, people, if you can get into the 1% of anything in life, you would sign up for that. You would want to be in the 1%. Even in 2022, a lot of people missed the Bitcoin train when it was $1, when it was $10, when it was $300-$400. A lot of people, including myself, didn't know or didn't buy into the Bitcoin. We thought it was used for money laundering and and stuff on the deep web and in the dark market. Listen, now it's not. Bitcoin is becoming what the dollar has been, and to a lot of people, it doesn't make sense. Let me break it down before I get back into that. This is what Bitcoin is. We've never been. People that are alive today, we've never been in an age to where we can see what the value of the dollar is. What I'm trying to say is that if I came to you and say, hey, I got this new thing that's coming out, you should buy in. It's called the dollar. It's called the dollar. It's going to revolutionize the world in how trade is. Because it's no longer going to be a barter system. There's going to be this thing called a currency where you exchange this paper-like material for items, for labor. You should buy into it. It's called the dollar. And people will look at you like you're crazy. What the heck? What are you talking about? I can just make something and barter it. It's not going to make sense. That's exactly what Bitcoin is. Hopefully I was able to catch you with that. That's exactly what we're seeing now in Bitcoin. That's exactly what we're seeing. I am no longer kicking myself for not buying in, not understanding what it is back in 2012 and 2013. I wasn't in position, but everything works in due time. That is a key trait. Everything works in due time, guys. This is the time that we're going to be so excited and happy. Positive vibes. And I'm going to make a little video about that. But listen, getting back to this Bitcoin stuff. It is still, in 2022, the perfect time to buy into Bitcoin. Why? Get it while it's available, because it's not going to be. It's scarce. The whales are buying up Bitcoin right now. The large companies, the millionaires, the billionaires, they're buying it up. And each time they buy it up, that means millions of people are never going to be able to purchase, to acquire Bitcoin. And remember, Bitcoin can be fractionalized, and the lowest nominal value of a Bitcoin is called a Satoshi. Those Satoshis in the future are going to be worth more than $1. You heard it here. You didn't hear it here first. There's plenty of people that already know this information. Just do the research, or do your YouTube consumption. You'll be able to see it. There's more and more people making videos out of it every day. If you're not the reading type, and I understand reading's not for everybody. I get it. That's why this video type of format works for some people. YouTube's the #1 website in the world for a reason. All right. Listen to what these guys are trying to say. If you own 0.028, basically a little more than a fourth of a Bitcoin, you are in the 1%. It makes no sense not to do it, especially in 2022, especially when we've seen the trend scale up since its inception. Since we've seen it, it's going to take over the dollar. All right. I want you to check it out now. Real quick, this is on the screen here. And then I'm going to get to the last thing, and I'll be out of here. Listen. No more than 5 to 10 million people will ever own a full Bitcoin. The earlier you get in, the better. Because the later you wait, or if you are content with life being a no-coiner, that's the term with people that own 0% of Bitcoin. You're going to be setting yourself up for failure. Now, there's some people that are never going to get into it, and that's cool. I don't want to have conversations with those type of people, to be honest with you. I'll keep my opinion to myself. You'll keep your opinion to yourself. Because it makes no sense that you're going to be working till 65 to retire when you don't have to do that if you own a fraction of Bitcoin now. The money that you're blowing now for whatever you're doing, whatever, it's not going to make any sense when that a little piece of that, $100, $200, can change your life forever by buying in now because it's a scarcity. Anyway, still right here it says if you say if you want to be in the top percent, right, you can do so with 0.028, and if you want to hold one, if you want to own and hold one, it may be time to get a move on. Put your taxes into it. Put 5% of your check into it, the same as how you do 5% into health and savings account or your retirement fund. This is your retirement fund. It simply is. All right, real quick here before we go. All right, so as of today's date, the market summary for Bitcoin is 36,000. It's climbed up. It was a little low from going in, of course, in January. It fluctuated. All right, as you can see in the 5 days, it was 40,000. You guys can see that, 40,000 there, and it dropped down dramatically. Look at the 5 year though. Just 5 years. Bitcoin's been around since like 2008, 2009. All right, it started out $1,000, February 3rd, 2017. Remember, think about what you were doing February 3rd, 2017. All right, just think about it. And it really skyrocketed in 2020. This thing really took off. And what I mean by really took off, hey, listen. By the time COVID hit, it was 8,000. And then it hit 9,000. And then it started skyrocketing. It hit 10,000. Right? COVID hit. Boom, it went up 18. This is the really time to buy in, but still. Look at it hit 32,000. 40,000. It hit 40,000. And then it blew expectations. And then it hit a dip. And then it went back up again, 61. And then it hit its grand total of like 69. And then it dropped down. There's going to be ups and downs. But listen, there's going to be a boom in the next coming years because it's going to stop. Bitcoin's going to halve itself, right? And then by 2140, that's the last Bitcoin that's going to be mined. Imagine what it's going to be. 100,000, 500,000, $1 million per one Bitcoin. And then you're going to break down to people are going to say they're going to do fear of missing out. They're going to be trying to get a fraction of it because they didn't know how potent it was going to be, how much of a game changer it was going to be. Now, when you can actually get it right now on the exchanges. You couldn't do that early on. You couldn't. Now there's exchanges like Gemini, Fidelity, that you can go in and secure a fraction of a Bitcoin. The goal is to try to own one. But even if you put $100 that you're not going to miss, that's the key thing to this video. If you put a fraction of what you're making into just getting a Bitcoin and don't touch it, what I'm trying to say, in 10 years, you're going to have game-changing money just from your $100. Do with that what you may. But we're in a time now in 2022 that there's no longer, you're not going to be rewarded for being ignorant when it comes to it. We saw the charts. We're seeing the trend. It's a game changer now. Imagine when each place of business will now have an option to pay in cash, to pay in credit, and to pay in crypto. What are you going to do then? You're going to say, oh, I heard about Bitcoin in 2022, and now it's 2025, and this thing is 50,000, 100,000, how much it goes up to. And you're going to be saying, dang, you're still working your bullshit 9-to-5 job. You're still, paycheck to paycheck or paycheck, skip. And then, if you miss that skip, now you're in trouble. You're still going to be doing that. When there's going to be people that bought in that are financially free. You're not financially free, by the way. You're not. but people that invest in are going to be. It is what it is. It's out there. Even in 2022, it is still the time to kind of buy in, because this thing it's going up. I thought it was something different. I was wrong. I'm right on this. And there is billionaires follow the money. If anything, you see Elon Musk, Tesla, under his company, by the way, buying Bitcoin. They're a big player in Bitcoin. Elon, the person who, if he says Dogecoin, for example, boom, Dogecoin goes up in value just by him saying it. There's major influencers buying in Bitcoin. Now you got athletes being smart. Thank God. Athletes, they're saying, you know what, pay me in a fraction of Bitcoin. You know, I'll take cash and I'll take some Bitcoin. There's companies, Fortune 500 companies, you know, give me a fraction of that in Bitcoin instead of cash. Fiat currencies are the way of the past. That's what it is. This is TBI, Bitcoin discussion. Trying to put people on. I want to see everyone win. I want to win. I want to win. I want my kids to win. I want to see you win. And this is the time to do it. I don't want people to come back to this video and to see a world where you cannot buy a fraction of a Bitcoin anymore, or to be in a world where you're ignorant and you're saying, all right, purchasing a fraction of a Bitcoin is not going to do anything. You don't own the whole one. Bitcoin can be fractionalized, which it is. So Bitcoin goes up in value, the fraction of Bitcoin goes up in value. Makes sense, right? It's simple math, and I am terrible at math. Where are you going to be in the next year or two, the next 5 years, the next 10 years? When the dollar subsides, the US government is buying into Bitcoin. The big bully on the block. I'm a veteran. I know wars are fought over oil and dollars. That's the truth. The unsettling truth to some. Wars are fought over oil and dollars. Oh, you're a country that want to get away from the dollar? Oh, it's looking like you need some democracy. Yeah. And the US government, the Chinese government, they're all buying into Bitcoin. That should tell you something. That's a red flag. Holy crap. You got these companies buying in, these corporations buying into Bitcoin. It's going nowhere. Get some while you can. TBI. And I'll catch you guys next time.